locked in, and the Masters just around the corner.
Yes.
Time is ticking if you want to place some bets.
And we do. I think we do. Most of us do.
I always want to.
Joining us live this morning is a sports betting expert, Zack Price. Good to have you, Zack. How are you?
So great to be here again, Kirk.
So much sports going on right now. I mean, I know football season is kind of king when it comes to sports betting, but we've got hockey, which is about to go to the playoffs, basketball about to go to the playoffs. We've got March Madness. We've got the Masters coming up. You should probably pick and choose. It's hard to be an expert on everything, don't you think?
There's definitely something for you to get involved in if you want to bet on some sports right now.
All right, so let's start with March Madness because I think that's top of mind for a lot of people right now. Down to the Final Four on both the women's and the men's. So what do we do or what do we not do? How do we start?
So we have a super exciting Final Four. UConn is the favorite.
Yeah.
They have led by 30 points in every single game this tournament.
They're undefeated, right?
They're not undefeated for the season, but
it would be back-to-back if they win.
Right. It would be back-to-back, which is a feat in its own.
They're taking on Bama.
Yes.
So, okay.
And so Bama, they're a three-point shooting team, so they can get hot and they can throw some punches. But like I said, UConn has a lot of firepower, and they've been leading these games by crazy amounts. It would be very difficult to overtake them.
All right, so what about NC State Purdue?
Yeah, so that's a real exciting one.
I'm going Purdue.
Yeah, so NC State, DJ Burns, he's like a Cinderella story himself.
Yeah.
He just almost came out of nowhere, averaging about 12 points this season to be taking NC State to 9 straight elimination games.
Wow. Well,
victories.
They're the Cinderella this year for sure, right?
Yeah, and so, it's going to be about 40 years since they won in 1983. And Purdue, it's been 40 years since they made the Final Four. And so Zach Edey, he's the best player in the nation by a landslide. And so that's a matchup everyone's going to want to watch.
All right, so we're not to the Avs, NHL playoffs or NBA playoffs yet, but let's talk about the Masters because it is coming up in about a week and a half here. And who's favored for the Masters right now?
Yeah, so Scottie Scheffler is going to be a huge favorite in this. He's been playing the best. He's #1 in the world, but I will say, he only has one major victory. It was at the Masters 2 years ago. A guy like Brooks Koepka, he's got 5 majors. He was actually leading the Masters last year, and he's shot in the 60s 14 out of his last 15 rounds on the LIV Tour.
So if we don't want to just pick the overall who's going to win this thing, what are some of the other safe, not maybe safe, but
parlay bets? Yeah,
other bets that we could do that are maybe a little more dialed in?
Yeah, actually, there's a ton of bets you can make on golf. So you can bet a guy to finish in the top 20.
Okay.
You can bet on the top American. You can bet each round on who's going to have the lowest score or if they're going to go over or under a certain score. You can bet a head-to-head matchup, one golfer against another. There's really an unlimited amount of things you can bet for the Masters.
Yeah, and in terms of getting set up on these betting apps, is it relatively easy for people who haven't done it before? Because I know there's a lot of people out there who are saying, well, I've never done this. It's too complicated.
Couldn't be easier. Yeah. You just literally download your favorite app, sign up, and hit deposit, put a couple of bucks in, and you've got yourself ready to go.
Yeah. Well, it's fun because it gives you something to root for, something to cheer for, with a little bit of money on the line.
Be careful. Be responsible. That doesn't. It goes without saying. Drew, yeah, right. Drew likes to place a lot of bets. Awesome. You're going to come back when NHL, NBA playoffs start. We can talk more about that.
Can't wait. It's the best time of year to be betting sports and watching sports.
Yeah, there's a lot going on right now. Thank you, Zach. Good to have you. 10:46 right now, and I bet it's going to be a pretty nice day today.
Ooh, good bet. I like that.
Hey, $1 million. The Rockies win the World Series. I'm placing that bet.
What?
Home openers on Friday.
Yeah. How much money are you putting down?
What are you talking about?
You know I don't have $1 million.
I don't know. The Yankee State, I've heard, is pretty nice down in the Rock.
Worst bet ever made.
Like the record scratched when I said that. You guys are the worst.
We've got a severe weather threat out over the Midwest today, so heads up through Louisville, up near Cleveland as well.